And it was tough, I gotta say. Once you book a gig and you're in that space, you can perform it over and over again. But getting there, it was a struggle. He pushed me really hard. There were some harsh words at times, like like just he's really good, and he was like, he just it has to be vulnerability, and he can't fake it. You just can't. And when I watched it back, yeah, that I can see why people comment on that last moment when
When
he
he
says, "You
freezes and
promise."
right.
Yeah, and it's like, ow, yeah. I'm glad they record those things so you don't have to keep going over them again and again.
Well, you see the look on it, expression on it right when he freezes. It's the moment in my opinion. You may agree disagree with this. It's the moment when the I guess I don't know if it's disappointment is the correct characterization, turns to anger. And it's right there. That's in my opinion when the time is frozen. He's not really trying to analyze what's happened anymore. He knows that they've betrayed him, and it's a powerful scene. Even they're arguing on the ship. We shouldn't have done this, and Jack's like, "What do you suggest? What was the alternative?" So it's a great episode
Yeah,
of
I think that
television.
I think that it's definitely not a planned moment. If that transition that you see towards
Yeah.
the end, if that's what you're reading into it, it's that like when I watched it was just like it is literally disbelief. Like he just looks and he sees it, and it's like it's a new feeling, and it's just sort of washed right over him. And it's just like we all have that in life when we're trying to, like,
Yeah.
someone gives you bad news in public, and all of a sudden you have to put up the you even like your emotion is going to switch, and for 1 millisecond there's the truth of the level of truth in that pain or whatever, and then you put up the public acceptable version of pain because you don't have to pretend it doesn't hurt because everyone knows it's going to hurt, but you want to at least put on that face. And it, the way they edited it, it's beautifully done.
Mm-hmm.
That he's caught right in that raw first time he's ever felt that feeling ever. He doesn't know how to process it, and it's just hangs there.
If there had been, I'm curious as to your opinion on this. If there had been a difference in the circumstances where they could have gotten away with him aboard the ship, where, like, for instance, the replicators wouldn't have like held on to the landing gear and prevented the ship from escaping. Do you think that he would have continued to remain loyal to them all the way through for into like potential missions together in the future, or as an advisor, or do you
If
think that he would have transformed at some point into something more akin to his family's true nature? I'm curious as to
if
what you
he, if he
think.
had left with them, if he had left with
Yeah.
them, and his family was frozen in time,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think so. It's a nature versus nurture thing, right? And I think that he is, um, yeah, his surroundings would have informed what he had become.
So he would have continued to stay a positive force.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. See, it makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. They really cut their losses on this one. Obviously, no future is guaranteed. Um, did you have an inkling at some point that, oh yeah, this has got to be continued, or was it just like, you know what, maybe that's it, and that was a great one-off? And as far as the character goes, if you have to end it on a scene, that's a great one to end it on. What were your thoughts?
I think I actually didn't anticipate him coming back. Yeah, that was, I thought it was a great episode, a great guest star to have on my resume, and I enjoyed the performance. It's an amazing opportunity filming. Um, but yeah, I don't remember thinking. There are shows where I definitely always think, oh, they got to bring me back, and they never do. On that one,
Oh damn.
I thought that was it. I was like, okay, yeah, I think that storyline is done, right?
Yeah.
For that character, anyway. Not all replicators, but for that character.
Right.
So yeah, I was shocked when I got the call to go back.
Yeah, the I Obviously no fan can know, only the people who are creating the show. And season over season, for a while there, they weren't sure if they were going to do another one, and all of a sudden they did. And it's like, okay, well, what content is fresh to mind, and what can we pull forward from the past? What did you okay, so New Order Part 1, I'm assuming you get a phone call, you find out that you're coming back. What are your first thoughts, and what did you first, see on the page?
Oh, I was just excited. Like, I didn't having had to work so hard to find that vulnerability.
Right.
And I mean, as actors, that's what acting school is about. I spent 4 years doing, in tights, in a studio, voice, movement, all that stuff, getting to raw vulnerability. Like, that's just what we do. And then I go into the audition for this one, I get to that place, and then it comes back, and it was like, don't have to do that again.
Right.
Because he's gone the other way. Yeah. Although that I'm joking about that, but to maintain the audience's, in the end, he becomes a sympathetic character. I know that because of the fan reception. But you can play someone evil and not really from the truth, and you won't win people over as much.
I would never have characterized him as evil. I've characterized him as betrayed and angry.
Yeah.
We see it even. New Order Part 1 is definitely anger. New Order Part 2 is okay. I'm finding, now that I have her, I'm finding a place where we can possibly move forward now, because there's a great scene where she's on her hands and knees and she's begging him not to torture her again, and you can see it in his face and how he puts his hand through her hair. It's like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, it's a sad, the humanity of it is so sad, because we all know what it's like to be, or many of us know what it's like to be dumped, right? And as much as you're plotting the revenge and the vengeance, all you're thinking is, unless you love me again. and then all that's out the window. And that's what he's playing with in that whole New Order Part 1 and Part 2, right? It's like, but he has a limited skill set of tools available to him to win her affection.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pulling on the ones that he has, and those are 2 tough episodes.
Oh man, what was it like working with Amanda?
Brilliant. I mean, brilliant. From the very first episode, like, I was pretty green. I hadn't really done a lot of stuff. Yeah. I guess she'd done this show. It was season 6, was it?
You were in season 6, yep.
Yeah, and she was just such a grounding force, and totally connected, totally there with you. Relationship is instantaneous when you start playing a character opposite Amanda. And we filmed, I think it was the scene in the ship where she tells him that I had brought them in. I can't remember. There was
you carried them one at a time back to the Prometheus.
But at one point, Amanda and I shot a scene where they had run out of time because Richard Dean Anderson had to go somewhere, and I'd never shot like this before, but like, they had a 2-camera setup. So I was doing my lines over here, and she was doing her lines over here, and we're supposed to be related to each other. And she could tell that I was not getting it. Like, it was a whole new technique that I had no idea how to deal with, because you can hear the person saying the lines to you over there, and your body's immediately trying to respond to that. But you got to stay over there. And she just coached me through that. And then playing the scenes with her in New Order was a lot of fun.
Hey everyone, it's David. Hope you're enjoying the clips during the break. We will be returning in the spring. In the meantime, are you good with English? Are you one of those people who take pride in your grasp of it? Well, we have a great team over here transcribing the backed catalog of Stargate interviews and have dozens more to go. If you're interested in joining me and a small Stargate diehard community looking to preserve the stories brought to Dial the Gate into text form, then please email me at dialthegateshow@gmail.com. There's a little something in it for you, and you'll be helping to pass along the stories to future generations of fans who have yet to discover the show. Thanks so much for watching Dial the Gate.